What up everybody, NeroTheHero here, and I'm doing another response video. This is in response to KidSmoove, Why the Hate for Fanboys. Now before I get into this response, I just wanted to say I agree with a lot of what he says here. There are just some really crucial points on which I do not agree, and that's why I'm responding to this video. Also, I commented on this video quite a while ago and he hasn't responded, so yeah, so maybe this will get his attention. So without further ado, roll that beautiful YouTube footage.
What's up everybody, it's your boy KidSmoove, and I'm an Xbox fanboy. I don't understand why fanboys are so frowned upon. I really don't get it. Everything has a fanboy. Every product, every brand, every person, every team, everything has some sort of fanboys, but yet the fanboys that get so much gripe are the fanboys that are relatives to gaming. And I want to know why. We need fanboys. Businesses need fanboys. Advertisements, marketing, teams, everybody needs fanboys. It's okay. I don't understand why it's okay to be a fan, a diehard fanatic of a team like the Yankees, Patriots, Giants, but you can't be a diehard fan of Xbox, PlayStation. I don't get it.
You absolutely can be a fan of Xbox. You can be a diehard fan for Xbox. However, I feel like your terminology is kind of where your message is getting lost here. So when you say fanboy, I think you really mean fan base, because fanboy is a term that was derived to represent the extreme. You know, like, have you guys, okay, so let me just, I might be just speaking purely to the 90s kids or the 80s kids or whatever, but do you guys remember the show Freakazoid? I hope you do, because it was a fantastic show. It was on the WB, Saturday morning cartoons. I love it. Anyways, there was a character. His name was Fanboy, and he was an absolute nutball. It was to the point to where he was obsessed with Freakazoid, and he would follow him everywhere, this and that. Just, he did all this crazy stuff. And that's what the term fanboy means. It's where your fanaticism has gotten to the point to where it makes you act like a freaking lunatic. And that's why people don't like fanboys.
I mean, people complain so much about gaming fanboys. It's just like, I don't understand. What do you want? What do you want? Imagine if we all liked the same thing. You know how boring that would be? PlayStation's great, Xbox great, we love everything. It would be boring. Boring. Fanboys makes us who we are. Being a fan of something is important. It's okay to have taste in your own personal unique taste or desire, or what's the word I'm looking for? It's okay to have personal preference. It's okay to be a little biased. And we do this every day of our lives. You know, there's fanboys of everything. There's fanboys of Coke. There's fanboys of Pepsi, Toyota, Honda, Nissan, GE, freaking oatmeal raisin cookies, Oreos, my Twinkies, Hostess, Little Debbie. But yet, we look bad. We make fun of the fanboys that are fanboys of gaming. 'Cause I mean, I remember Pokemon fanboys versus Digimon fanboys versus Magic Card fanboys, and somehow it was never a big deal. But when it comes to gaming, being a fanboy is a problem.
So the reason the whole Pokemon, Digimon, Magic Card, Duel Monsters? Yeah, Duel Monsters, Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyways, the whole reason that was never an issue is because there was no, at no point did anybody go to the extreme, you know? At no point did people go on to YouTube and upload videos talking shit about some other content creator purely because of their choice in gaming platform. That's where the problem lies. It's absolutely okay to have your own preferences. And just going back to your point about liking everything would be boring, I enjoy all of these platforms. I love Nintendo, I love Microsoft, I love Sony. I love the games that they put out ever since I've started gaming, which has basically been from, I've been gaming for a really long time. let's just put it that way. And I am a fan of gaming. I'm a big fan of gaming. And I'm even a bigger fan of developers and publishers who know how to treat their consumers correctly. And when I say treat them correctly, I don't mean charge them to death. When I say charge them to death, I mean microtransactions. I'm talking about season passes, DLC, on disc DLC, monthly or yearly fees just to play your games online with your friends. Those are the kinds of things that are problems in the gaming industry. And a big problem with these gaming fanboys is the fact that they just accept these things. They accept these things that these companies do, which only justifies their actions. Because to them, it's like, oh, well, people will buy it, people will pay for this stuff. Let's just keep it going and see how it goes. That is the fundamental problem with gaming. And fanboys are a part of that problem. They're not necessarily the problem, but they are definitely perpetuating that problem. I am way okay with having a fan base or being a fan of something. It's when you just take it too far. And a lot of these fanboys take it too far. That's why the term was coined, to represent the people that take it too far.
The majority of the people that are complaining about fanboys or the act of fanboying are generally fanboys. That everybody's a fanboy. There's a fanboy isness, if that's the real word, in everyone. You know what I mean? PlayStation have crazy fanboys. Xbox have Xbox fanboys. PC have fanboys. PC gamers will be the first to try to pose as not fanboys, but they're the biggest fanboys in the industry. They're the biggest fanboys in the industry. You have to be a fanboy to desire your preferred platform, the master race. Come on, you know what the master race is. When I hear master race, I think Hitler. I mean, who goes that far? Like, come on, fanboys.
PC Master Race is a joke. I'm gonna keep telling people that until they freaking listen to me. Anyways, you don't have to be a fanboy. You can be a fan. You don't have to be a fanboy. Again, fanboy represents the extreme. And for you to say that PC gamers are the ultimate fanboys, you're just kind of lumping people together and just sort of slapping a statement on them, which is never a fair thing to do. So I disagree with you on that point. I definitely 100% disagree with you, because I'm a PC gamer. I game exclusively on PC. I have for the last 2 years. But you know what? Before that, guess what I gamed on? Xbox 360, PlayStation 2, and Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, Genesis, Super Nintendo, all that stuff. I played games on all of these platforms before that. My needs changed at some point, and the PC suited those needs. I had needs beyond gaming that the PC fulfilled. I can create music, I can create artwork, I can create graphics, I can graphic design, I can chat with people from all around the world. That is why I'm a fan of PC gaming now. I'm not even really, not just a fan of PC gaming, I'm a fan of having a PC as a platform, because it opens so many doors. I'm gonna self-promote a little bit. If you guys, I get into this a little bit more and the reasons why I switched to PC gaming. There's gonna be a link to the other video down there. It's a lot of the objections that I originally had from switching to a console to a PC gamer, but then at the end of the day, they were just kind of just like minor like inconveniences or myths or just misconceptions. So I'm kind of getting sidetracked here, but the point that I'm trying to make is that not all PC gamers are fanboys. And not everybody who's a fan of something is a fanboy. Again, fanboys represent the extreme.
Now, I don't see anything wrong with fanboys by any degree. I don't. See, when I criticize fanboys, I don't think I'm criticizing the act of fanboys. I'm criticizing the hate, when fanboys hate other fanboys. You know, if you're a PlayStation fanboy and you hate Xbox fanboys because they're an Xbox fanboys, I mean, think about it.
Oh, believe you me, I've thought about this many, many times over. And the act of hating a fan of an opposing or competing platform, in that of itself, is the act of fanboy. That is the act of being a fanboy. The extreme. Extreme. Extreme dinosaurs! Does anyone remember that show? I hope so, because otherwise I just made a complete fool of myself. I don't care.
That's the annoying part, you know what I mean? But I guess it's comparable to how Yankees fans hate Red Sox fans for the sake of them being Red Sox fans. But fanboys are hated for the sake of being a fan of something. And people talk this mess as if they want fanboys to cease to exist, and that is not true. Nothing will succeed if it didn't have a fan base behind it. Everything we know and love have a fan base. It has a market. It has a following. And followings are nothing but fanboys. And we only for some reason seem to accept it in everything but gaming. And I kind of want to know why.
There it is right there. That's the word that I think that you really should be using is fan base, not fanboy. Fanboy is an extreme. Fanboys are blinded to the shitty things that these companies do, the shitty business practices that are not good for the consumer. That's the point that I'm trying to make here, is that the fanboys are the ones who are just going to blindly accept these things. If you're a fan of something, or if you are part of a fan base, or if you have brand loyalty, for example, I drive a Toyota. I know people who drive Hondas. I know people who are like, VTEC for the win, bro, yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's great. I like that you enjoy your Honda. However, I love my grocery getter. Oh man, I call it the dad mobile. I'm not a dad yet, but that's just what I call it. Getting sidetracked again. Having a fan base is healthy. Being a fanboy, an extremist, an extreme fan is not. That is not healthy. That is kind of borderline obsession type of deal. Fanboys of any sort are not good. The reason why I believe you feel that people put more negative attention on gaming fanboys is because you are ingrained in the gaming fan base, which makes sense. And also at the same time, gaming is just getting more and more and more popular. Gaming is constantly in the media. So when you see these things and when you see these fanboys doing what they do, it just kind of perpetuates that kind of stigma, that stereotype from back in the day when I was a kid. How anyone who played video games was just a fanboying big, stupid, fat nerd, which is simply not true. A lot of people play video games these days. Gaming has a huge fan base. Not all of that fan base consists of fanboys.
Fanboys are necessary. We need fanboys. So why hate them? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm out, and Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot, and I'm proud of it, and I've been that way. I'm out.
I personally find it troubling that he feels that fanboys are necessary, because to me, seeing as how the term fanboy is representative of the extreme, that sort of entails that extremism needs to be necessary, because when things get extreme, that's when things start to go south. You know what I mean? Just think, okay, remember all those years ago when the Lakers won the playoffs? They won, okay? They won the playoffs. What did the fans do? There was a freaking riot. They like destroyed part of the city. Like, why would you need to riot if your favorite team won? Shoot off some fireworks, high five, hug, kiss your loved one. Don't go looting the streets and smashing things and turning over cars and lighting stuff on fire. This is exactly what I'm talking about, the extreme. And when people get extreme, it generally kind of has a mob mentality sort of effect. It's kind of like in the Boondocks when Riley threw a chair and then everybody just kind of lost their shit. It's kind of like that. I mean, that's a very extreme example. I mean, obviously no one's going to lose their shit over somebody throwing a chair, but that is, sometimes extreme examples need to be used in order to represent, in order to point out the extreme. So the whole reason I'm responding to this video is actually because I commented on it quite some time ago and I never heard anything back from him. I've also tried to engage with this gentleman on conversations as far as Twitter and stuff like that, but you know, you can only really express so much with 140 characters. So that's why I'm doing this response video right here. So hopefully he sees it and hopefully he can see my point, because I totally see your point. I'm not trying to talk shit to you. I'm not trying to make fun of you, anything like that. I'm trying to engage in a dialogue with you. And you're more than welcome to hop onto my Discord. It's open to the public. You know, anybody can jump on there. Just I only ask that you be respectful, don't spam, and just don't be a shitty person when you come onto my Discord. Otherwise, you're gonna get the ban hammer. You know, I haven't had to Mjolnir anyone yet, but one of these days I probably will. I'm getting sidetracked, you guys. That's really all I had to say regarding this gentleman's video. KidSmoove has a lot of personality, and I think we could be buddies. I think we could be friends because he enjoys video games seemingly as much as I do. And again, KidSmoove, I'm just reaching out to you, trying to engage in a dialogue with you. So hopefully you follow me on Twitter. I think you do. I don't know. I follow you for sure. So hit me up because we can talk about games and stuff like that. That's really all I have to say, you guys. I'm going to get out of here now. But until then, as always, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Do something heroic today and demand something better in gaming. Always. This is NeroTheHero signing out. Peace.